Good morning. Good morning. Last week we talked about resolutions, and one of the things I talked about was saying gratitude, what we're grateful for before we go to bed and when we wake up. And, one of the things, and just so happened right after that, I was doing that, and I just got like overwhelmed with gratitude for people in my life that had appeared at just the right time, angels that had just happened, that just led me on a different path. I mean, everything from finding a new career and finding a job to getting into recovery, it just went on and on and on. And I became so overwhelmed, I started to cry. I mean, it was just, I thought to myself, even when I didn't believe in God, and when I called myself an atheist, even then, they were angels. There were these people that kept coming into my life and helping me, giving me a place to live when I didn't have a place to live, and all kinds of things. And I thought to myself, there's a song, Angel Among Us, and it's so true. So I don't know how you feel about angels, but I really believe there's something in this universe, whether we call it angels or spirit or whatever, that is there to help us. Help us when we really need it. And sometimes it happens in a big way, and sometimes it happens in a little way. But the thing is that they're always there at the time that we need it. So many religions believe in angels, and Catholics believe in angels. Most Christians believe in angels. The thing is that in the religious circles, there's usually a hierarchy of angels, the good angels and the bad angels. And some angels are better than others. Some angels are worse than others, and so you have to make sure you pray to the right angel for the right thing at the right time, because you don't want the wrong angel answering your prayer or whatever. I don't know. To me, angels are always good, because angels happen in our life when we need something good. It's what if you look at the list of good angels and bad angels, it's really interesting, because on the bad angel list was Cupid. I thought, so now love is bad? Why is Cupid on the bad list? What did he do? It's kind of like Santa Claus, the naughty and the nice list. But there are people who are very religious and believe in angels, and that's wonderful. I have a friend of mine in Miami who came from Honduras, and her mother was very religious. She was Catholic and very religious, and she believed in angels. And they were living in Honduras, and she had 5 children, and they were very poor. And her husband he was really sick. He had a heart attack, a stroke, and he wound up in the hospital. Now, we're talking about Honduras. We're not talking about the United States. And the hospital was very crowded, and so the doctor decided that there was no hope for him, that he was going to die. So they basically just left him on a bed in a hallway, because why give him a bed in a room? Because there weren't enough beds in the rooms. So they had to give it to people who might be able to be helped. So the man is on a bed in the hallway. Basically, they've said he's going to die and that's it. So my friend's mother leaves the hospital, and she goes out and she starts praying, and she's crying. I mean, she's got 5 kids. She has no way to support herself. And she's just been and they were very little at the time, her children. And she was just told that her husband was going to die. So she started praying. And after she was done praying, she went back into the hospital, basically to say goodbye to her husband, because she figured this was going to be the last time she was going to see him. And she looked in the hallway where his bed was, and he wasn't there. And she thought, oh, I'm too late. And so she said to the nurse, she said, where's my husband? And the nurse said, this doctor came by, and he told us what we needed to do. And it turns out that and he told us what to do, and your husband is doing much better, and he's going to recover. And they said to her, well, thank you for sending this doctor. And she said, well, I didn't send any doctor. And they said, but the doctor isn't from here. No one here knows who this doctor is. And she said, well, I didn't send a doctor. And no one had ever seen this man before. No one had ever seen him afterward. He came, did what he did, and then he was gone. And as a result of that, her husband got well. So she believes, and I agree, that that was, she thought it might be Jesus, it might be an angel, but some being came and saved her husband because nobody knew who this man was. They hadn't seen him before, and they didn't see him after. So we have that kind of angel. We also have, whether you believe in the angels like that, spiritual angels. Lots of people have angel cards and they pray with angels and they believe, in all these angels. And there are these angels that sometimes people even say that they've seen angels, or you go on the web, there are all these pictures of these like white lights and that people can't explain. And there's something out there sometimes, and we can't quite figure out what it is. And what happens sometimes is if we can't explain something, we poo-poo it. We say, well, it doesn't exist. But if we're going to do that, then it's the same thing with God. When I was an atheist, I was like, well, prove it to me. Well, you can't prove it to me, so poo-poo. There's no God. And so it's the same thing with angels. And then there are the angels that are amongst us, the people. And to me, those are the angels I'm most grateful for. They are the people that just somehow always come at the right time. And sometimes they do major things. They do heroic acts. Like Ellen DeGeneres on her show, Ellen, always has these people on. And there was this one man who, we're going to see the video, who saved this woman from a subway. So we're going to watch this video of this interview.
This story is, I don't know if you heard about this. So you're not even supposed to be on the subway. What do you do for a living?
I work for my Oz moving company. I'm a mover.
You're a mover.
Yes.
You lift heavy things all the time.
Yes, heavy things all the time.
All right, so you're on your way home and you take a different subway for whatever reason. You go to a different area for the first time.
Okay, what it was, I was rushing to go home. Had a long day. I usually catch the express. But I caught I usually catch the local, but I want to catch the express. So the express will take me to Hunts Point to catch the local. So when I got off at the stop, these high school kids was playing around. And, they didn't realize what they was doing. I'm nervous, I'm sorry, y'all.
That's
they didn't
all right.
realize what they was doing, so at the time when they was playing, they bumped the lady.
An 88-year-old woman who's standing there and knock her off down into the tracks.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is about, what, 5 feet down?
It's like around 5 feet down, yes.
Okay. And so other people were there. You weren't the only one.
Yeah, other people was there, like traumatized. I'm like, what is this? We're gonna just stand there and just look at this lady get run over. So I just ran out there in reaction.
You just jumped down.
Yes.
Could you hear the train coming?
Well, as I was down there, you can hear it through the tunnel. So you hear it. I'm like, oh my God, hurry up and get up. I'm thinking it's a little kid, but it was an old lady, 88 years old.
Yeah.
So I put her on the platform. And I told somebody, pull off so I can lift myself back up. They did that.
But now wait, isn't there like there's a rail that's actually, if you touch it, you would have been electrocuted?
Yes, the third rail.
So you had to avoid that. You had to lift her and avoid that.
Yes.
And then now you're hearing the train.
Now I'm hearing the train. So this is the rush. I had to put her on the platform so I could make sure I'm safe too, because God forbid if it was coming.
Yeah.
So we did that.
And you got out, and then the train passed 6 seconds later, is that right?
Yeah, it's like slow 6 seconds.
6 seconds later, the train comes.
Yes.
Got that woman out of there.
Got that woman out of there. Thank you. Yeah.
And so then you're late getting home, and are you married or is your girlfriend?
That's my fiance.
Your fiance. You told your fiance, and she didn't believe you.
She didn't believe me not at all. Not at all.
Then she sees you on the news.
Then she sees me on the news. And then she said, oh my God, my baby's a hero. I'm like,
I tried to tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a picture, I think, of the woman that you saved, I think, in the hospital. There she is. And boy, she's lucky you were there that day. Because I think I'm sure a lot of people wanted to do something, but they just froze, not knowing, and you just acted.
Just reacted.
And risked your own life.
Yes.
And good for you. So we want to do nice things for you because of what you did. We know you love the Lakers. There's a game tonight. You're going to the game.
Oh my God.
All right. You're welcome. And also, lifting heavy things, you need a vacation. You need to go someplace and just lay down. So we're going to send you and probably your fiance, I'm assuming you're going to take on a 5-night, well, she didn't believe you. You can take somebody else. You and a guest on a 5-night stay to the Bahamas. You're going to stay at the Sheraton Nassau Beach Resort. You'll enjoy freshwater pools, and you're going to swim up to a bar, spectacular white sand beaches. You're going to have so much fun. All right, thank you for being such a good guy. Thanks for doing that. All right, Douglas.
So what's interesting is he wasn't supposed to be on that train, and he wasn't supposed to be there, but he was. You see, that's how angels sometimes work in our life. They appear when they aren't supposed to appear, and someone comes into our life and maybe they weren't supposed to be there, and so he was just there, and he answered the call. And you know, if you go on the computer, if you go on the web, go on YouTube while you're looking for us. If you go on YouTube and you put in, you will see all kinds of stories. People pulling people out of burning vehicles and buildings and everything. And so we think that angel acts have to be something big. They have to be something heroic. They have to be something major. But very often, angel acts are something very small. They're something that changes a person and changes the way they look at things. So last week, Christopher and I were in Trader Joe's, and we had separated. I was doing shopping, and he was. And I go up to the register, and he's up there already. And the cashier comes around and starts hugging Christopher. I mean, they're in this major hug for a long time. And I'm thinking, oh, this is interesting. You know, this woman I don't know, this cashier trader, is hugging my husband. And she looks pretty serious about it. I don't know who she is. And then she turns around and says something to the cashier behind her, and that woman comes out from her register and starts hugging Christopher. Now I'm beginning to wonder what he does when he goes to Trader Joe's, right? I mean, these cashiers really seem to be quite, enamored with my husband. And so we walk out, and I guess, he introduced me. So this is my wife, and the cashier said, oh, you must be wondering, why we're all hugging your husband. I'm thinking, well, yeah, but... So we walk out, and finally Christopher says, I guess you're wondering why these women are hugging me. And I thought, yeah, I'm wondering why these women are hugging you. So what had happened was he had been at Trader Joe's, I guess, a couple of weeks before, and he'd been very sick. And he was at the register, and the cashier said, you know how people say to you, how are you doing? And most people go, oh, fine. Fine. Fine means a lot of different things, but it rarely means fine. And he said, oh, I've been sick, and so I haven't been feeling well. And this cashier comes out from behind the register and hugs him and makes him feel better. But that's not the end of the story. So she hugs him, and then he is so overwhelmed by that this woman, this stranger, came out of a register to hug him, that he wrote a thank you letter to her. He wrote a thank you note, and he sent it to Trader Joe's. Well, she was so overwhelmed that someone would take the time out to do that, that she showed the store manager. And the store manager was so overwhelmed that in the morning meeting, he talked about it. And he said, this is what we're here for. This is what people may not write us letters, but this is what we want. And they posted it up on their board. So now everybody in the store knows who Christopher is. So when he came in again, the cashier, now she's so grateful to him because he made her day that she gives him a big hug. And then she turns to another cashier and says, oh, this is the man that wrote the thank you note. She's so grateful. She comes out and gives him a hug. So something as simple as writing a note to somebody, thanking them for something they did to you, is an act of an angel because it makes that person feel better. You see, angels may, be heavenly and they may be all of that. They may help people, save people's lives, and they do that. But most of the time, the angels in our life do something really small. But that small thing changes us at a level that is so much deeper than any big heroic act, because it changes us at our very core, and it makes us believe that there are good people in this world, and that the world isn't just filled with negative things and pain and suffering, that amongst us are people who care and are concerned and want to be there for each other. And so I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to think back at a time when someone appeared in your life and did something to help you. Maybe helped you decide what course to take in your life. Or maybe did something small that made you feel like you were loved and cared about. Just as there are angels among us who have helped us through our difficult times, so too are we angels in other people's lives. Because whether there are heavenly angels or angels from another realm, God is within each one of us, and God works through us. And the real angels, the true angels, are the angels among us. And for those angels, we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.